Welcome to A Bettor Life, sponsored by BraveBets.eu. I'm Dame, the gambling god,
I'm the genius.
and we're going to teach you about how to gamble, financial literacy, and our lifestyle.
That's right. Show you new tips with technology, emerging things that are in the market that'll get you on our level of not just lifestyle, but also in gambling.
That's why he's the genius.
So let's get started. What we'll do first, I guess, just a little introduction of who we are.
Okay, so me and Genius met around 2000 and what, 13, 11?
Now, honestly, I was like, oh, nah.
Yeah, somewhere up in there. So he worked at Apple. He worked at the Genius Bar.
And Atlanta, Lennox Station,
I'm starting a rental car company. I know nothing about technology. So I met him. We he sold me some products.
everything. And he bought it all.
So told me too much stuff. And then he came to the on the side, and I was on the side. I said, "Look, I like you, brother. I want you to come hook my stuff up at the, you said, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yep. Called me over, came straight to the lot, saw what was going on, like what needed, and then just off the vibe, like, there's certain people when you meet them, you see certain things, or you feel certain things, right? Especially me at the time. I'm in Atlanta, and I'm in college working for Apple, and especially when people come in the store, no one ever knows what they have, especially with their Apple products, but they want to be sure to get it all set up. So it's not something that's uncommon. But also, too, you don't want to be going over everybody's houses. Right?
But
You don't want to.
that's how crazy it is, because you was in college and I was just getting out of prison.
Right.
So it was a yin and a yang.
That's right.
And I just adopted him as my little brother.
And that's right. And that was the one thing I always wanted. I had 3 older sisters. I always needed that, that male influence, just like guys. That's what we always want. A bigger brother showing to really show us the ropes and tell us what to do and what not to do, in a brotherly love way. And I was blessed, opportunity, and time. So came there, we got everything set, and that's why I was given the name Genius.
Yeah, I did name you.
and it's stuck ever since, and I rock with it.
Feel like my oldest son. So then he wanted to know like what I did. At that time, I had a rental car company, but I also traded stocks and I gambled. I did sports bet on the side, and he was like, "Man, what do you do?" I said, "Well, sports betting and I trade stocks." So then I started teaching him a little bit about it.
That's right. When you see somebody like that, just like now on the street, you see someone who you can look at him and tell like, this person's successful. It comes to you to ask those questions because you never know what type of opportunities may arise. Also, too, where you can learn. Look at me today.
Yeah, you pulled up and saw what I was driving. You was like, "Bro, what do you do?"
That's right. I think you had the blue Maserati at that time.
Yeah.
New, clean, the quadruport. I was like, dang. I never seen. I'm from the South. I'm from Albany, Georgia. You know some of those people, but you don't see it like that, especially with someone so young like as he is. So I'm like, yo, like.
I was young then. I was a seasoned now.
Like, yo, put me on game. Because just like he said, he's on stocks. He has his own rental car business, and that's what I saw when I came to meet him.
This was before Turo.
Exactly.
I was doing Turo before Turo.
Way before,
Yeah.
and it was smart and working. Because the thing is, like, all those cars were gone.
Yeah,
off the lot. Like,
I started with 3 cars, and I built up like 50 cars. Yeah, it was crazy.
Like a revolving door, and he was doing cash rentals. So when you see that, it's like, wow. You know how it is when you see something. How it is when you see something for the first time, and you're like, I've never seen it like this before. Like that feeling.
So then, I guess I started gambling more, and took over the car business and stocks, because stocks was kind of boring. I couldn't go places and talk to people about stocks like Fibonacci's and straddle spreads. And nobody knew what I was talking about. But I could go to any barbershop or anywhere and talk about sports. And so that kind of took over the stocks. And it's so many similarities to sports and stocks. Like any definition you can use for stocks, I could do the same thing in sports betting.
That's right. That history looking up with the companies.
Yeah.
Trying to see who's owning what. Trying to guess and predict the markets. Same thing like sports, right? Like how you do the research, watching the team.
No, same exact thing.
The coaches, just like day trading. So very, very similar. And even watching him with that, because I saw him going through his courses there, right across the street from Linux. There used to be a building there. It's where all the day traders and the brokers would actually learn, and that's where he was at. So now, transitioning there, seeing him instead of putting in stocks, he's doing and actually showing me his tickets with football, where he's winning $28,000, $40,000, and I'm like, man, this guy's making
that was back in like 208, 209,
yeah,
210. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He's making my entire salary in a day. It's taking me a year, and I'm like, yeah, man, hey, what are you doing?
So I thought about it a few years later. I'm like, everybody always asks me, who you betting on? Who do you like? Who you betting on? So I'm like, I need to start selling some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I started just selling picks, and it went pretty good.
Really well. It been a little rough when it first started out, but
yeah,
especially like now, I think when you think back to like how that started until how much you can almost guarantee in a day now.
That's crazy. We go back to the beginning. It was me and you.
Yep.
Smaller operation. You was the website guy. That was crazy.
Getting it set up, getting complaints all the time.
Man, that was rough.
Now we got it ready, just like it runs, and we know. Like it all fell into place. So you know each other's role. I know what he's looking for. He knows what I need to get going. But just like we said, that's like a brotherly relationship there versus like a boss or somebody who you have to worry about. Like we don't have that.
The thing that changed my life in sports betting, I met this one guy. We was playing blackjack, and I was just telling him some of the strategies I used to trade stocks and picking teams. So one strategy I used, I picked 5 teams and learn those 5 teams in and out, whether they're good on the road, good in the dome, good morning teams, good evening team, whatever it was, whether they're good on turf, good on grass. And so I was telling the guy how I use my. She's like, man, he's like, you know what you're talking about? You mind if I take your picks tomorrow? Oh yeah, come on over. So he came, took my same picks. At the time, I was betting like $1,000 a game. I wasn't doing too much. This guy, I didn't know what he was betting, so we put the bets in. He left, came back. The games was over, so I'm like, yeah, I did good. How much did you make? So I made like $20,000 that day. I felt good. I thought I did something. This dude made $220,000. Well, I was betting $1,000 a game. He was betting $10,000 a game.
How'd you feel, bro?
That changed my life. That was the aha moment.
Yeah.
I said, this dude made life-changing money in one day off of my knowledge.
On your information that you did.
Yeah, it was over.
Yeah,
car lot over.
Yeah,
it was done. Sell all the cars. Let's go.
Exactly.
So that was the moment that propelled me to really take it serious.
Yeah. I would say, man, I could almost feel it another time too, because that's when you're going back and forth Vegas way more.
Yeah, every week.
It coming back with way more.
Every week, every single week.
Why Vegas?
Back then, gambling was still kind of taboo.
Yeah.
So everybody wasn't doing it back then. Vegas is the mecca of gambling and across the world. So why not? You have to go. You have to go with what's happening.
That's right. But also too, man, you're so ahead of your time then.
But the thing about it, I couldn't believe it was legal.
Yeah. Me neither.
Because I gambled all my life. We was in the hood shooting dice and running little tickets. It was never legal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is legal. Like I can walk out of here with
money like this and it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even seeing it for me too, like opening my eyes to something that's brand new, that's very similar to the finance world that I was accustomed to, with day trading and stocks, and having to do the same thing and cash out with so much money. I'm like, wow. And then also too, listening to him about how he found those games and made those picks. Because initially I was like, man, like, does he know some refs? Does he know like these players? Like
that's what everybody said to me. They used to be like, man, how did you pick this team out? And I'm like, you have to go. Everybody used to go with the favorites.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why
it's easy.
And that's why they lose it.
I mean, same thing as stocks. Everybody get one of the blue chips.
That's right. Right.
They don't want the penny stocks or the IPOs.
And bro, and that I'll tell you initially was what made you different. because you're not just showing like the how. You're also telling me.
Yeah, because I'm a natural gambler, so my risk tolerance is a little higher than others, so I don't mind taking a risk.
That's right. That's right. But even with the 5 team things, like finding something and really getting the understanding of it, so that you can have confidence when you're making those plays and confidence when someone's putting that money down. Because I'll tell you, when I was younger, I didn't have $1,000 to put down on a single game. I'm seeing that, but just like him too. Like, but it really helps you make that focus. Like, all right, like I believe in this. I think this is actually real. Hey, maybe I should take a bigger risk to have a greater reward, especially if I felt like that. And especially hearing it from him too. And when you see somebody put down $10,000 on something, yeah,
but it's two folds.
Yeah. You can lose
either
it.
you can win 10,000, you can lose 10,000. So
Yeah.
you have to have a stomach to know your risk tolerance. That's all.
That's right.
I tell people that all the time. They be like, I want to win 100,000. Well, you got to be willing to take a big risk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, we've seen some guys in the casino.
Yeah. No, I've had days I lost 30,000, 40,000 a day.
Yeah.
I've had those days.
Yeah.
So,
It's real.
Yeah, it's
It
real.
happens.
I remember one day I lost, not even one day, a weekend. I lost like 70,000. 40,000 on the tables, and I seldomly lose sports betting. Like I might break even and lose a little.
Right.
But that weekend everything was going wrong. I probably lost
You're like what, 86% on your wins?
Yeah. Now I went home. My host came back. She came back to work on Monday morning. She called me. She was like, "Dang, what was you thinking?" She never seen me lose.
Yeah.
But then when I did lose, I lost.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that made me
I had to
rethink my whole life.
reconsider.
But yeah, you're going to have those,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
part of it. So it's not all good. You got bad too.
Yeah, bankroll management, which is something that we're definitely going to discuss.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
One of the big topics,
For
especially
sure.
because I know that that's one thing that you taught me. So, and that's one thing, especially here, like we're going to go over a lot of the bankroll management, especially all the things that he specialized in with this gambling but not just sports betting.
Not betting with your heart.
Yeah.
But see, with bankroll management, like everything that I teach, I'm teaching not by experience.
That's right. Just like your picks. You don't put them out unless you're playing them.
Every way you can lose, I lost.
Yeah.
Every way you can win, I won.
Yeah. So
And I've been doing it so long, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna go over a lot of those stories, a lot of good, a lot of learning in that, especially because money is emotional, and you feel that when you put that dollar down.
How many times we walked by the dice table and we was watching, I said, the dice about to go out.
And you call it.
How many times do I literally call it?
I'm telling you, it's fun every time. Yeah, but that's part of it too. Like the watching, the statistics, seeing the table, the etiquette. There's so much to discuss
Right.
here when you come to gambling.
There's small things about gambling that you don't know, like you said, etiquette. Like if somebody's shooting the dice, you just don't come in the middle of the game and buy it. It just
Woo!
So it's etiquette. Even with sports betting, it's etiquette. When you put in bets, you don't cut in front of people. You don't take too long because you got people behind you trying to get a bet in. It's just small little intricate things that you'll learn.
Playing with your heart. That's like you're going into. Yeah. So this is going to be very informational, very insightful, and there definitely should be something you learn with every episode that you're listening for sure.
I'm Dame, the gambling god. I'm gonna show you how to get the money.
And I'm a genius. I'm going to show you what to do with it.